Roundtable on trade through prohibitions. The SEC is about to have a meeting on Rule 611. A roundtable on trade through prohibitions is the national market system stock and listed options market is tomorrow, September 18th. See our agenda for details. So they're evaluating changes to Rule 611, which could include weakening parts of it, removing it, creating exceptions, or other reforms, but they're not at the point where the rule is gone. Now, many of you guys might ask, what is this rule? Well, this rule effectively makes market makers route to the best price that investors can possibly get. Now, there would be no reason to change this rule to a lesser degree because it would be less transparent as well as worse for the average investor, because if they change the rule or remove the rule, that means market makers can give you a way shittier entry and exit price on your trades. So once again, that is coming very soon, and I figured I would shed some light on it. As we are 3 hours or so away from the Fed meeting, we are going to talk about GameStop very quickly, which continues to load up on call premium, as well as the chart has not shifted one bit away from our pattern that we have drawn out, which anticipates a major gap up coming into the Fed meeting or after. Now, I'm going to state very clearly at the beginning of this video, Lenny, you said it was going to gap higher, but you were wrong. I'm not saying that I am completely correct. What I'm saying is that I put my money in here and I'm letting it sit for a bigger move higher. I don't tell you what to buy, hold, or sell, and I don't care to tell you. I'm just giving my opinion. Nothing I say is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, but take a look at how very perfect our cycle has been playing out from the bottom to this move, to this flat trading, to this chop trading after the spike, to this pattern that we've seen right here, in which case next up is a gap higher. And even on the weekly time frame, GameStop has built out these beautiful candles with a weekly close above 24.80, pressing up against it with not too crazy of a higher wick, and then an opening candle above this resistance, trying to absorb sellers in this massive sell block that we have from 26 to 30 bucks. So that $4 range, a lot of sell orders are in there. If we absorb it today, then we're likely to move to 36 before entering this massive sell block, trying to avoid us of 52 plus on the chart. Now, obviously we have the Fed meeting today, but just when you think the tin couldn't stop, today, coincidentally, is National Time's Up Day, September 17th, which also correlates to the gap up, which also correlates to the biggest news that we've been waiting for of the month, which is the rate decision. AMC, yes, the chart aligns with a gap up as well as some of the basket stocks. BlackBerry building a spring right here for a possible move higher up to $4.80. So everything is aligning. And another play, SBET, with a 9% short interest that we've talked about before, is one that I want you to keep on your radar for volatility to come into. Open was up 16%, now up almost 17%, continuing higher. Be very careful because at some point this one will be over. I want to talk very briefly that Binance BNB token or whatever is catching up to XRP's market cap, and this is no joke. And the reason I want to bring it up to your radar is not for you to jump into it, but to clearly state once again that there are two cryptocurrencies that are lagging behind that will have a major breakout move, in my humble opinion, just like this one, and that is Solana as well as Chainlink. So we are keeping those on our radar. Real quick, NVIDIA. China officially banned its companies from buying NVIDIA chips. AMPX continues to rally, up 8%, now nearing a level around 1050 or 1030 that is crucial for this play to continue to see if we are going to go higher in enterprise discovery or this will be the top of this momentum move. We're also watching ELF that we completely messed up on, selling at around 111, now at 145, came up to 150 today. We sold on a structure breakdown, still made a huge gain in the long-term portfolio, but unfortunately this one continues to rise, and it does show strength that it will continue even higher. Lyft got a massive jump today, was up about 20%, all the way up to 27 bucks. Now competing with Tesla. Waymo to offer autonomous rides in Nashville on Lyft ride-hailing network. Lyft partnered with Waymo, aka Google's app, I believe. Alphabet, Google, Waymo, plans to start offering autonomous cab rides in Nashville next year in collaboration with Lyft, which is huge, and that brings more competition in for Tesla. Now, Bitcoin. The last time Bitcoin had green September, that means a huge hugely bullish October and November followed. And right now we are having a green September. I want to point this out because Bitcoin recently got rejected off of 117K yesterday, or this morning, I should say, but the ETF inflows are still green. There is no net negative that we are being shown. And with September still being net green, it shows as if we are supposed to see a bullish narrative coming into October and maybe November as well, which also points to upside for the market. Obviously, we have rate decisions coming out, which is expected to be a 0.25 BPS cut. However, if it is a 0.25 BPS cut, this is likely priced into the market, which means flat or down, in my humble opinion. However, we can possibly get a 0.5 BPS cut, which will be extremely bullish and which will pump things to the moon, which will also very heavily correlate to this gap up in the chart. That does not have to happen. I think trading this is a 50-50. It is very scary, but some YOLOs do look enticing on 0 DTE calls as well as puts on the SPY. I also want to point out some of the momentum indicators, one of them being the RSI, recently was very, very overbought on the SPY, now beginning to cool off. And you can look at other indicators as well, showing that the SPY is overbought. If we continue to rally, I want to state, without having an initial reaction down, then the SPY will just come down worse when it's ready. So an initial reaction down is the better scenario in my opinion, before flashing back higher and continuing to pump into next week. Ultimately, I have a very, very slight bias to the downside when the meeting is released, but this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor and I can't tell you what to buy, hold, or sell. But yesterday, like we talked about, is playing out somewhat, not to as much of a degree, but I said in the morning, you're likely going to get this continuation sell-off until the Fed meeting. And then I also talked about the reaction following that. So if you didn't see the video, make sure to go watch it. I uploaded it at 8 p.m. last night, Eastern Standard. Guys, if you're not following me on X, make sure to come follow me over here. And the top link in the description is for the Discord. Make sure to join the trading group with the best vibes, best people. There are no bad questions, guys. Once you join, feel free to ask questions. Feel free to check out all of the alerts we have. And yeah, enjoy the huge chat that we have in there. And the second link under the Discord link, I'm going to pin them in the comments as well. So if you're in the comment section, is for the pattern detection indicator that you can add to your trading view chart that detects patterns and forecasts what the stock might do, which very much so helps me when I track patterns. Overall, guys, those links are in the description and pinned in the comments. Make sure to drop a comment down below how much you think if the Fed is going to cut, or what you think they are going to do and how it will affect the market. Let me know any additional plays you want me to cover or you have been watching. That is it, guys. I love you all. God bless. Lottery Stocks out.